What's up, Jaguars? Welcome to my animated universe. I hope you're all doing good. You're all probably wondering where I've been this past month and a half. Well, I had to go away for a while to take care of some personal issues that I can't really put on any video for Ralph J Images. But rest assured that everything is a-okay. I'm back now, and now that I'm back, we will be moving full speed ahead with everything. And that includes putting people and businesses on blast when they don't do what they're supposed to. And by the title of this video, you have a pretty good idea of what company that I'm about to bitch about. Pardon my French, but Enterprise Rent-A-Car recently pissed me off by not doing what they're supposed to do. And I've also done lots of research on this so-called good rental company. And there are lots of things that you all need to know about this company. Now, before you watch this video, I think it is imperative that you go to the Ralph Jaguar 1 YouTube channel and watch the newest episode of the Reboot number 93, aka Ralph's Universe. The Reboot number 93, Why Enterprise Car Rental Sucks. Part 1. In that episode over there, my girls, Cece and Rocky, gave everyone the real deal, and they put Enterprise on blast. And if you liked that episode of the Reboot, then you're going to love what you're about to see here in part 2, because I'm about to really rip Enterprise a new ASS hole. You see, this is what happens when I get worked up. So, let's do this. By 2005, Enterprise Rent-A-Car's customer service has been recognized 7 times by J.D. Power and Associates as highest in customer satisfaction for rental car companies at or near airports. The company was named the 9th on Business Week's Top 25 Companies Customer Service list in 2007. Really? In 2006, Business Week listed Enterprise among the top 10 places to begin a career. Okay. Although the company's pay for management trainees was among the lowest on the list at an average of $34,000, those who catch on quickly get a chance to run a branch office with the responsibility to generate a profit. Yeah. There are certain requirements and qualifications to become promoted to an assistant manager. And many of these qualifications may depend on the employee's sales. According to Business Week's list of best places to launch a career, Enterprise was in the top 15. Within 5 years, a successful manager may take positions at headquarters or become an area manager responsible for multiple branches. Is that a fact? Well, I'm not really interested in all the political BS. I'm more interested in how Enterprise treats its customers. And I can tell you right now, because of the research that I have done, after the way that my friend was treated, the customer service of Enterprise sucks balls. And you know you can take that to the bank, Jaguars. Enterprise car rental, Enterprise commercial trucks, it doesn't matter to me. Enterprise period is rotten to the core. Here's a situation about Enterprise Rent-A-Car that involved a close friend of mine. My friend, Amanda, needed to get her stuff out of storage in California, and she had 24 hours to do it, or Amanda would be charged extra by the storage company that were holding her stuff. Amanda lives in New York, and she needed to get her stuff there. California and New York are lots of miles apart from each other. Amanda planned ahead and called Enterprise and talked to a lady of Enterprise days before she told Amanda that they had a special going on that week. They would charge Amanda $90 to use one of their trucks to help Amanda get her stuff out of storage in California and take them to New York. Amanda's friend, Ben, gave her the ride from New York and drove Amanda to the Enterprise store in California early in the morning. So, keep in mind that is a long-ass drive from New York to California. So, they got to the Enterprise store in Cali, and Ben and Amanda didn't get good service at all. They had to wait a long time for the store to open. They got there at 8, but the door was locked and the Enterprise lady couldn't get it open. So Ben and Amanda had to wait outside of the building in the cold. After about an hour of waiting, that Enterprise lady finally got the door open. Then Enterprise cashier told them that they needed a credit card to rent one of their trucks because Enterprise doesn't take cash. Okay? But they wouldn't charge it on their card. Ben gave them his debit card to use since it can be used as a credit card as well as a debit card. And then at that moment, that is when Enterprise cashier decided to drop the bombshell on both Amanda and Ben and said that they needed a $200 security deposit, and it has to be on a credit card. Ben's debit card just wouldn't do according to the Enterprise cashier, and Ben and Amanda had little money with them. They could barely afford that. And then the Enterprise cashier wasn't about to do anything to try and help Amanda or Ben since none of their cards worked. And let's keep in mind that days before, when Amanda was planning all of this, no one from Enterprise told Amanda about the extra $200 security deposit that would be needed on a credit card. Only after Ben and Amanda drove about billions of miles to Cali early in the morning in the cold, and when they finally arrived at the Enterprise store in California, that is when the Enterprise cashier told them that they needed the $200 security deposit on a credit card, and neither Ben nor Amanda could produce that. So Enterprise didn't do anything to help Ben and Amanda. That's really effed up. Anyways, to finish this damn story, Amanda contacted her friend in New York who had a truck, and that friend drove to California. It took him a lot of hours to get there, and that friend charged Amanda and Ben. He charged Amanda and Ben $250 to help get her stuff in the storage and take it to New York. Ben had to be the one to pay the $250. And yeah, the trip went well after that. $250. It was Ben that had to pay $250 instead of $90, like the person from Enterprise on the phone told Amanda. That's really effed up, Jaguars. This story right here proves that Enterprise car rental / Enterprise commercial trucks really suck balls. Just sucks balls. I went online to a website called consumeraffairs.com. This apparently is a website where anyone can come to get reviews about products, services, and businesses. And here I was able to obtain lots of information on Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Cece and Rocky already read to you some of the massive complaints about Enterprise. Here are some more. This may be surprising to you, but not to me. The link is in the description section of this video. Here's the first one. Michelle of Warren from Missouri on February 9th of 2015 writes, and I'm quoting what she wrote. She says, "We have rented from Enterprise in Warren, Missouri on Van Dyke. This was our second time, and they were, and this is putting it lightly, rude as F. They do not try to please their customers whatsoever. And the price they charge is ridiculous, considering they have no freaking cars to choose from. Their cars are always less than half full on gas and dirty as hell on the inside and out. They give you these cars and don't even take care of it themselves. We won't be going back." Ain't that a bitch? Okay, Warren of Osoro, Naomi on February 1st of 2015 wrote, and I quote, "Rented a car from Enterprise at the Baltimore airport for one day. Asked for the lowest rate available for that Sunday and gave them a rate of $37 a day. No, gave me a rate of $37 a day. I returned the car 30 minutes late after they told me they did not have anyone available to pick it up. I was charged an hour more for delivering their car to them, when the final charge was given to me as $172.64. When I balked at that, they gave me to the Enterprise main office. They explained several additional charges and a $50 drop fee for me returning a car to them." Say what? When I asked for an explanation as to why other Enterprise offices charge less and did not have all the additional fees, I was told that they are a different region and policies change. They advertise pickup and return of cars, and $37 a day fee plus fuel. The fuel charge was $172.64 for one day. These charges are not described at the time of rental. Their practices are deceptive, and I will never rent from Enterprise again." Here's another one. Sharon of Middletown from New York on February 8, 2015 wrote this. "My experience at Enterprise located at 63 Route 17K, Newburgh, New York, was the worst. The employees here are dishonest and a bunch of scam artists. On January 29th of 2015, I rented a car for the day while my car was being serviced at the dealer. After I walked around the vehicle, that I was renting with, I noticed what appeared to be minor damage to the front bumper on both sides. I pointed it out to the Enterprise employee, and he stated it wasn't nothing, and I believed him. He then gave me his speech about their insurance. After he finished, I declined because I have my own. He asked me why, and I told him. This should have been the end of the conversation, but no. He had to recite his speech again and again, and for the third time. I declined the insurance. When he finally gave me the keys, he then stated, "Don't damage my car." If I had known that Hearst was a block away, I would have canceled the rental at Enterprise and went there instead. But I decided to let it go and left. When I returned the vehicle, a female Enterprise employee took the keys from me and went outside to check the car. And when I tried to follow her, she put her hands up and said I didn't need to go with her, so I stayed inside. After about 2 minutes, I looked outside and watched the female employee bend down towards the front of the car and was tugging at it. 4 minutes later, she finally came back into the office and I asked her what she was doing. She stated that she noticed that the bumper looked unleveled, so she pulled on it and it popped out. She then told the other Enterprise employee that the bumper was damaged. The female employee as well as myself all went outside, and I watched the pump and watched them pop the bumper back into place, then went inside and told the manager. Then he needed a second opinion. I informed that the damage to the bumper must be pre-existing because I was not in any accident and the car was parked inside my garage. When I returned the car, the bumper was not in the condition it was in before. They popped it back into place. He then shouted, "Are you calling me a liar?" and went outside and did the same thing the female employee did and popped the bumper out of place again. He then went inside and called my insurance company and reported a fictitious claim. I've been renting cars from Enterprise since 2001, and I have always received very good customer service. This is the first time I went to this location, and it seems like the employees here just came out of the how to get over on customers who doesn't accept our insurance class. I'm not sure how many other customers has fallen victim to this scam, but it won't happen to me again. Here's another one. Vanessa V. of Staten Island, New York, on January 30th of 2015 wrote this. I contacted Enterprise Rent-A-Car at 1852 Richmond Tire in Staten Island North. I needed a car for used Friday morning of January 30th, 2015. I was informed that if I picked up the car today, the 29th, that the price would be $19 for the day and $36 for the 30th. I told them I wanted to get the car, and the sales associate told me he would see me in a while. To this I stated I needed a ride and gave him my address and phone number around 4:45. I got ready for work and I noticed it was 5:45 and the car had not arrived. When I called to see how much longer there would be, I was told that the person said I would call them back, and never did so. They did not send anybody to pick me up. This person on the phone would not identify himself to me even when I asked repeatedly. I asked to speak to the regional manager, Stephanie, who told me if I had any problems to contact her. The salesperson began yelling at me to stop threatening the staff with the manager's name. We argued for a while before I just told him forget it and hung up. I then called the 1-800 number to put in a complaint before I noticed that they sent me back to the same store. I asked, who do I put in a complaint to? The same sales rep again would not identify himself to me, stated I needed to speak with Stephanie in a mocking tone. By this time, I was so mad and very late for work that I hung up again and called to make no complaint. This time, I pressed buttons until I got a rep on the phone to complain. I also work in sales and would not dream of speaking to a customer who has been renting from that location since 1996. My broker has trained us that no matter what or how a customer speaks, we must always handle it like a professional. I see Enterprise does not train their sales reps to do the same. I ultimately had to be very late for my appointment. I want something to be done about that branch because it is the worst. And I will be telling everyone who will listen of the treatment I received from that location. I also will not be using their services again. Here's another one. Charles of Dallas, Texas, on January 29, 2015, wrote, the charges were of course not what we had been guaranteed. My husband proceeded to try and speak to the representative about this, but my husband and I were mistreated and spoken to in a very condescending, arrogant nature by the male representative of the afternoon of January 26, 2015 at approximately 4 p.m. at the Rapid City, South Dakota airport. He proceeded to come from behind the counter 3 times to stalk and threaten me as I was sitting in the airport sitting area. I am a disabled female, and this angry man attacked me with the verbal venom of an angry nut. He was extremely overbearing and threatening. His last words were, just remember, I have the power to reverse these charges and charge you what I decide. I was an Enterprise customer for many years, but not anymore. I would like to know what can be done about this employee. God damn. All right, Jaguars. Here's one more. Saeed of Newton, Missouri, on February 11th of 2015 wrote, rented a car a couple of weeks ago at the 18 Road, Framingham, Missouri, while my car being fixed at the shop. Today I went to start the car and the car indicated that the key cannot be detected. Called the Enterprise roadside help number and the lady tried walking me through several steps which did not resolve the problem. She then passed me to another agent and he went through the car manual, and during this time the call was mysteriously disconnected. I did not get a call back even though they had asked me for my callback number. Called the roadside number back and spoke with another agent and explained the whole thing. After a while on the phone, the agent gave me a reference number for the roadside assistance and indicated that a car will be sent to me and the defective car will be towed away. After 2.5 hours, I received a call from the AAA towing person that Enterprise had denied the request to send a call over, and I need to contact Enterprise again. I called the Enterprise local office where I had rented the car and spoke with the agent, and he asked for my phone number that is, and he called me back indicating that a car will be sent to me within 3 hours. Waited for 3.5 hours, and I called the agent back and left a message and also texted him to find out what is the status of the car. I finally got a text back that if I have received the call back or not. After 7 hours, OMG, after 7 hours, I am now told that they are not able to find out the status of the roadside help, and they are going to send a person to pick me up, and it would probably take about 1 to 1.5 hours. To be honest, I think I have had one of the worst experiences in my life today dealing with the employees of the Enterprise rent-a-car, and I will never again do any business with this company. The people at Enterprise are unprofessional, immature, and dishonest. Amen. Amen to that, Jaguars. I really don't like it when people don't do what they're supposed to do. It really pisses me off. Enterprise just advertises good service, but they don't deliver it. Enterprise car and truck rental don't care about you or any of its customers. They only care about making money, which is actually the norm in this effed up universe. Well, Cece, Rocky, and I just told you why you shouldn't go to Enterprise to do any renting at all. And based on everything that you have seen and heard in parts 1 and 2 of this documentary story, Enterprise is one rental company that needs to burn to the effing ground. Jaguars, peace out till later.